Hey, 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 straighten out my kippah, everybody. Shabbat Shalom to my Hebrews. How is everybody? This is episode 4. Can you believe it already? Episode 4 of Vegan 4, like the number 4, Shabbat. How's everybody doing tonight? Sorry. I'm real tired. It's been a long week and a long day. Hey, the minute I find an alternative source of income for Uber, baby, I'm done. This Jew is gone goodbye. Hey, looking kind of old, with the big thick hair. I've had a big thick gray beard. Haven't had a haircut in a little while. Probably scratching my nose. It's been a bit of an allergy day as well. The cat's around my feet. It is time for me. What is this here? Something new TikTok is doing. I have no idea what's going on. Well, hello everybody. Welcome. Well, this being a Sabbath, I'm kind of tired. It's been a long week, like I said. I'm going to make a simple quinoa dish. Now, to keep things kind of happening the way that they are, keep it kind of flowing, I put my quinoa on my long distance, yes, Sherbert. I have 2 cats, as you see. I put my quinoa on my rice cooker earlier. I also added some of my harder vegetables. This is the Tefal 10-in-1 cooker. To my knowledge, they don't make these any longer. This is a very valuable surprise here. Thank you for the likes. Love you. Let's see what we got here. Oh, look at that. Got red potatoes, cut carrots. I steamed some, not bay leaf. What is that, darn it? Basil. Not bay leaf, but basil. Put some basil over the top. Hang on. I'm going to go deal with this cat here. How's everybody doing tonight? Shabbat Shalom if you are in the walk. Sherbert, what do you need? Want to say hi to people? Sherbert, look up here. Yeah, that's Sherbert, and that's Woody, her stepsister. They're being calm right now, good kitties usually. Sometimes they drive me nuts. Hey, thank you, appreciate the compliment. Wish I had the arms again. I gotta get back in the gym. Been a long week. Hey, let's see. Gonna feed the kitty cats here. Pardon me 1 second. They're driving me crazy. Come here. Keep her quiet and then not quiet. For some weird reason, Sherbert will only eat dry food. I'll put a little bit of water into it. So, hello to you. How are you? Welcome to the room. I'll go put my fake glasses on. Y'all don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. All right, I know it's an illusion. Don't I look smart now? 2 kitties, most definitely. Let's see, who's that? Hey, be blessed. Love you much. Thank you for coming by. All right, let's get back to our cooking here. I had my fake glasses on because for some reason, getting a little older, can't really read the small print on the chat board, of course. No kidding. I try my hardest to be normal, of course. I'm a black, vegan, part Italian Jew. How normal can I really be? Anywho, put that away right now. So let's see what we got here. Now I hope, because it was in a slow timing cook, I didn't overcook the quinoa. It's very easy to do. Okay, a little wet, a little wetter than I wanted. Not too terrible. I'll just drain it probably. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Cutting board here. The veggies up there. Sugar, you can't help me, so go away. All right. So the object here, and I'm kind of, hey, do you know I am 52? You believe that? If I shave this down to like a real low and get a number 4, the number 3 taper on the sides, I look like I'm in my early 30s. Can you believe that? Not to mention I take really good care of myself for the most part. So I got my issues, but no, not too terrible. Okay, get out. Get out. Let's see. Can I find a spoon as I can? All right. I'm giving quinoa a little stir here. It's really, really wet. I think I added too much water, unfortunately. Yeah. Make this happen, sure. All right. Now, the fourth thing about quinoa is if you did add too much water, you're kind of stuck to it. So I may have overcooked my quinoa. I'm not sure yet. Making kind of a porridge, maybe. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Turn it back off. I'm gonna put it back on the rice setting. Be there 10 minutes here while I'm making my other vegetables, of course. Say, who's that? Hey, welcome, welcome, 1,000 welcome. Hey, make sure you hit that like button. Hit those likes for me, please. I didn't realize that's a really big thing TikTok does. If you don't have people clicking on likes on your page, your weekly ranking goes down, and nobody who really wants to see your video stays around. Nope, bad kitty. Nope. Oh, glad I'm in here. My other knife is in here, by the way. And I gotta tell you, I've had a lot of knives in the past. I seem to be good with knives. How about that? Being a Marine and a martial artist. This little cheap Farberware nonsense that I have it's got a full tang, but it's really not a good knife. Get out. Get out. No. Get out. When you have cats, you got to deal with that sometimes. They want to get in the food sometimes. But for what it's worth, I can cut the moon with this $10 knife I got from Walmart. And it's Farberware after all. Here we go. Get out. Get out. I told you to get out first time. Bad kitties. As I do, I'm fairly quick when it comes to cutting things. I try my hard not to cut myself, of course, but that's the way things are. When you're in the kitchen, you're trying to be a little bit too fast, you will hurt yourself. But always have a knife with a full tang. This is a full tang right here. It goes all the way down into the handle, so it's a lot more stable. I think what I'm going to do at some point is really treat myself to a set of Japanese kitchen knives. Although being vegan, it almost doesn't really matter because, I don't have to cut anything really hard with a really expensive knife. So, maybe get one or two of them, one for vegetables and one for bread, and that's about it I really need. Anywho, so I'm going to make my quinoa. I'm going to remake my quinoa. Hopefully it'll come out better. The objective, of course, is I'm going to let it dry out a little bit more than what it is right now and get it back into my cast iron skillet and stir fry it and see what happens. Let's see what happens. Hey, while we're doing that, now I forgot to get peppers from Walmart, so I'm gonna have to skip the peppers, unfortunately. I did get the red pepper, and I wanted to have some real flavor. I'm gonna do 2 styles of onion. So showing me about my knife cutting skills here. I'm pretty good with it. And being a man and all, I love to show things off. So if I cut myself, please dial 911 for me. Let's see. It's a good pepper. I got this one from a roadside market. A little bit more expensive than going to Walmart, but it's a much better knife. But much better pepper, that is. Let's see. Not bad, huh? Let's see the rest of them like that. I don't want to get them too fine, but maybe bite size here. All right. Look good? It's just me tonight. The cats don't eat peppers after all, so it is what it is. Hey, Shalom, how are you? Get several little bowls here. Shabbat Shalom, by the way. Put them all in the same bowl. That wouldn't be so much fun, would it? Haha. Always save my leftover onions for salads and all, and peppers too. My first Jewish girlfriend taught me this one. I never knew how to do this before. she made it look so easy. Like, honey, just cut the onion down the side. Like me, like this. Wham. And then wham. And that was it. Now I added this little part right here. It's really hard to peel an onion skin, of course. So it's kind of, slit the sides. Not all the way through, of course, but then down to the point where you can peel the outer layer and get to the good part of the onion. Now, I didn't rinse the onions. I've got one old school yellow, and my favorite's the reds. What am I cooking? I'm cooking a quinoa dish. Keep it kind of simple, actually, because a little tired. Been out on the road all day driving Uber, which, B'tzadat Hashem, I want to stop driving Uber, but I've been doing it for 7 years, and it's really easy money. The problem is, it's kind of soul destroying. I've been at it for a long time, and as you can hear from my voice, I work in the entertainment business. I am a voiceover artist. I do commercials. I actually auditioned for a movie that's coming out right now on Hulu called Dope Sick, and they must have liked me. They kept coming back to me as Giacomo, read one more time, read this, read that, read that, and finally, I didn't get a call back for it, so they finished off Dope Sick without Giacomo. Can you imagine that? How terrible. Do I eat any meat? I eat no meat at all. No eggs, no cheese, no dairy. Now, unlike most vegans, and I struggle with this, at least on the relationship side with other vegans, it's a real problem for a lot of vegans. Now, I still wear leather, but not all the time, not on purpose. And I eat honey. Sue me. I don't know that honey always kills bees. If I ever found that out, I swear that a lot of the honey makers that are out here in South Carolina, they grow ethical honey. The bees are not harmed whatsoever. So, but honey for us Hebrews it's a good thing. It had happened, of course. It's really good for you, and we have it. We can indeed. Thank you for asking, by the way, because what happened with me was this. Moving around, I became vegan living in Texas, believe it or not, of all places. It got really hard to find a kosher butcher. And then if you go any place like, let's say, Burger King or whatever else, or a place that has a common cooking surface, well, if you've got your hamburgers over here, and then to save space, they make bacon or fried pork chops on the same grill. Guess what? That juice is eventually going to come running down and touch your hamburger. So I just said, well, listen, I know that we're not allowed to share utensils and preparation surfaces or plates or anything else with the unclean. I just kept saying, well, I can't find a kosher butcher. I can't find a place that will segregate, clean and unclean for me. I may as well say, hey, not going to do it. And so I went vegan. Yeah, I was in Texas for 5 years, actually. And you'd be kind of hard-pressed. You cannot find, a kosher butcher in Texas. And if you do, they're really expensive. So I made a financial and a religious choice. Kind of where that went. Chop some onion here, why not? It's a little bit higher than my normal cutting surface, so I want to be careful. I'm going to mince the onion really well. I know, in a way, I kind of miss eating steak, except that, nobody here, nobody would even watch at all, would eat a raw cow. So it seems like halal. Yeah, it's a lot to do with that. A lot of the Israelis that I know will eat halal food, but for us Messianic Jews, there's a part of Scripture where Paul is talking to new believers that are coming into Yisrael, not Christianity. Big difference. We do not allow ourselves to eat any meat slaughtered to an idol. And so what does that mean? I love my Muslim brothers, most definitely. Decent knife. Thank you much for the compliment. But to my understanding, when a Muslim butcher goes to make that animal halal, they turn the animal to the east and toward Mecca, and they say the name of Allah in a prayer over the animal and then slaughter it. Well, you have now sacrificed that animal to a God that we don't believe in, we don't subscribe to, as you see. Got my chai right on. Southern joke. Hi, y'all. Anyway, so I know it seems to be the same thing because it is a ritual slaughter, and they only eat, certain parts of the clean animals, which is, goat, lamb, cow, chickens, turkey, and all the animals that are mentioned in the book of Leviticus as food. So it made perfect sense to a lot of people to go ahead and eat halal, except halal and kosher, there's a big difference. At least as far as killing an animal in that ritual slaughter. All right, that's a question. 1 second. So it's kind of high. Now, if I were in a slightly smaller cooking serve, I can cut a lot faster. I want to show you guys how to do this and do it safely. If I ever eaten fish, I did eat fish briefly, yeah. I debated on becoming a pescatarian, but the only way you can really eat fish with a conscience is to eat fish that's been processed. And what kind of got it for me was I went to McDonald's and had a filet of fish patty, which is, garbage, unfortunately. I was eating it and I saw the veins coming out of the fish patty and I went, wow, no, thank you. So I said, you know what, I'm full on kosher at that point. Oh, here come the onion cries. Oh, dear God. At least it was fresh, huh? All right, somebody had a question for me. As I'm rubbing my eye, it was not a good thing to have happen. I stopped it. Okay, what was the question? I'm sorry. Onion cries. I believe it. Now, as far as us, let me fix the lens here. We can only eat fish that have fins and scales, which is a problem because tuna seems to be a clean animal to us. Now, here's the problem. If you see a tuna fish, they don't have fins. They have fins, but no scales. And we all know that tuna, if I ever went back to eating animals at all, which I doubt that I ever will, I would start with tuna and then salmon. So it's a bit of a problem because, tuna is very healthy, it's very lean, but it is technically not kosher or on the list of animals that are clean, technically speaking. All right. I'm going to rinse this onion this time, most definitely. I do not want to lose my eyesight tonight. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Wise advice. I have a lot of wise advice. What subject would you like me to talk about? Lots of advice. For youngsters going vegan, start slowly. I would say most definitely, if you want to go vegan and you're young, your friends are going to make fun of you. Be prepared for that. It's a really, rinse the onion. Actually, because a lot of people are going vegan and they're young right now, you might be better off than I was. I'm 52, so I get a lot of people that are kind of very much set in their ways and they don't want to try anything different. Well, it is what it is. Oh, there we go. But start slowly. Start with, going vegetarian. Getting off of milk and cheese are a lot easier than meat because milk and cheese are not food. They are garnish. You can eat cereal without milk. You can eat a hamburger without cheese. So you can live without that stuff. Both my cats are up here right now. You can see Sherbert has got a really bad skin infection. I'm trying to heal that up here right now because she looks so terrible. She's my big old kitty. Down a little bit. I'm actually going to saute the onion very briefly. Any questions? Well, I'll tell you, my challenge to you is this. Eat meat unseasoned, and it'll surprise you. Onion cries, sorry. Oh, bad kitty, get out. Better get out. Come on. Come on, get out. That's you too, Shirley. I love you as we get out. I've had some food that, I wanted to eat, of course, because it was, it had meat in it, back when I was still eating meat. But if it wasn't seasoned properly, it really kind of ruins the meal. Oh, God, onions, yeah. And that being the case, I've had some food that was vegan that had the texture of meat and great flavors of garlic, of cumin, of black pepper, and it was fantastic, most definitely. Oh, quite welcome, sure. All right, more onion in here. All right. Now also, this will be fun. I have edamame, whoa, go to my food, whoa. Hey, run this real fast. Thank you for asking. I should probably put the title of the meal in all of my videos so people know what I'm actually cooking for Shabbat. But I'm making a quinoa dish that I'm going to, after it's done recooking, unfortunately, stir fry. And add some onion, add some edamame. I'll sing again if you like. Edamame, oh. The cat won't stop singing, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm cray-cray, I'm expressive. Praise Yahweh. Here's a joke for you. Not a joke, a weird observance, a weird coincidence, or irony. I had a horrible speech impediment as a child, a horrible lisp. And it really held me back from doing anything fun, like being able to speak with girls. That's why I'm not married, unfortunately, still. Not for the speech impediment, because I'm still kind of shy when it comes to women. Speaking of which, here's a rabbi trail for you. If you know a cute little Jewish girl is about 30 years old, let a brother know, because that's my style. Kudos or extra points for an Italian Jewish girl. I've met one or two of them, and boy, they're cute. Anywho, I can't see that, put the glasses back on. That was a compliment. Make sure I respond to it. You like to sing? Hey, thank you very much. And that came about, I actually sang with the St. Cyril of Jerusalem choir when I was still Catholic back in Los Angeles. Our claim to fame is we sang at Frank Sinatra's funeral, among other things, but Frank was a womb to the tomb Catholic. You do? Hey, will she eat vegan? Let a brother know. Oh, we let her know that I live in South Carolina, which is kind of boring down here, but I'm a family man. We can do some great things down here. Australia. Oh, cool. Hey, I'm so glad your government finally let you guys go free. I got a buddy of mine from the Outback. You wouldn't know it. He has no accent at all. But he's telling me how bad it was getting out there. I'm like, whoa, what in the world? People were not able to go out and shop or anything else. But that's what happens when your government wants to run your life instead of helping you live by getting out of the way and letting you do your own thing. I am a Heb. I am Yosef Ephraim Yisrael. I am peeling edamame. These are delicious. This much edamame, which is soybeans, that's about 20 grams of protein right there. You can't beat that. 20 grams of protein and this much fat, and it's all vegetable fat, no carbohydrates. So when people say, I miss meat, and you may not miss meat, especially for bodybuilders, and I'm trying to get back in the gym on a regular basis myself, it's hard to keep muscle on, but not really much. Yeah. If I have one regret, I wasn't financially able to keep myself when I was living in Arlington, so I had to leave and come here where my family's from. But nope, edamame, soybeans. But I loved Arlington. Carbasa, I can't read that, sorry. Carbasas, oh yeah. Anyway, my buddy's from, if you ever saw the movie Welcome to Whoop Whoop, that's literally where he's from, way in the middle of nowhere, Outback. Dallas, hey. What's that club we used to go to? Wasn't Cinch. Right there on something Springs Boulevard, right downtown. I used to drive Uber like crazy around me, like crazy money in that area. And I always wanted to go inside, but you know, I'm old. I mean, not old like I'm going to fall over tomorrow morning, but it's really hard for somebody my age to have fun at a club meant for people in their early 20s. So I'm like, yeah, it's all good. All right, got the edamame done. I'll put the edamame in here as well. I think I'm going to do actually get another bowl. Oh, goodness. Quinoa is in the drying mood. So where's everybody from? I see Dallas, Texas. I see Australia. I am from, okay. Anybody want to guess where I'm from, believe it or not? Hey, brother. Greetings from Hey, in the Bahamas? I understand there's a few people that are vegan that are from the islands. I keep seeing a lot of videos from Jamaica. People that are vegan down there. I think that either it was natural for one or two. Houston, good city. Very humid in Houston. Turn the humidity off down there, please. But I understand that a lot of people were inspired by Dr. Sebi, who they murdered to go vegan in the islands. So he inspired a lot of people in the Caribbean to stop eating meat, period. All right. So I've got my ancillaries all taken care of. And now I'm glad it's still not quite the Sabbath because I can actually cook something. At Phil. Shalom, brother. How you doing? Well, you can never prove someone's been poisoned unless you do a toxicology test. Here's the thing. When you go to prison or some kind of a lockdown situation like that, they usually will make accommodations for someone's particular diet, especially if you're Muslim or Jewish or vegetarian. Now, he was vegan. He was also an alkaline vegan. I've not really been able to figure out how to do alkaline vegan yet. Other vegetables. But they refused to give him food like that when he was in prison. And he was in prison on a trumped up charge. I remember what the charge was actually, but it wasn't anything like he killed someone. I think it was like practicing medicine without a license. Like, really? Come on. I've got other theories about that as well. The whole idea of licensing someone to practice medicine. Like, look, if I want to go to Dr. Umfufu down around the way, let him rub some feathers in my face and heal me, that's none of the government's business. Big time. But the American Medical Association, or the NMA, my sister calls it N-words messing around. I'm going to say the N-word here. Oh, I told you, I lived in Dallas for a while. A funny story about that. I get off my rabbi trail in a second here. But Dr. Sebi, they wouldn't let him eat what he wanted to eat. So when he got out of prison, they said he lost like nearly 100 pounds. And he died some kind of like a kidney infection or whatever it was. Now, it's kind of weird because somebody who lived their lives like that, who was still very active in his 80s, you don't die of a kidney infection unless, of course, they literally poisoned him in a backhanded kind of a way, as in not letting him eat what he needed to eat to live. And I've heard of people who are in their, 80s and 90s and hundreds who live a good vegan lifestyle, who, are very active. There's the Fertile Crescent. What is that area? I think it's, what is it? Oh, Okinawa, where people live to their hundreds and they're active and such. It's because they're not hyper-focused, if at all, on, exactly, he had the cure for cancer, you better believe it. But they were not hyper-focused on eating meat. They didn't eat meat at every meal, especially not, pork. Big time killer. Now, I live here in rural South Carolina, and unfortunately, there's a lot of obesity here. And it's sad to watch anybody who is so overweight they can't walk any longer. But it's not uncommon to go into Walmart not too far from where I live here and see somebody who's morbidly obese riding the little putt-putt cart around Walmart and getting more sodas, more sugar, more pork, and not one vegetable going in that cart. You know, we can save our own lives through a plant-based diet. It is what it is. But some people would prefer pleasure, like temporary pleasures, over longevity and quality of life. I mean, if I can't live to be 100 years of age like my aunt, I had a great aunt who died roughly 7-8 years ago. She was 105, I think it was. She still lived independently. Now, she didn't cook any longer. She had a housemate come by and cook and do the heavy cleaning, but otherwise, she lived on her own. She outlived her sisters, and when you talked with her, it was like talking to somebody in their 50s or so. Perfect mind. Now, I don't believe she ate meat. I didn't really ask her about that. I wasn't really vegan at the time. But it impressed me that we can live as long as we want to, only if we would want to do it. And by all means, read your food labels. Look at what they're putting in our foods. Look at what they're putting in our water. Dr. Sebi probably saved a lot more people than that. And supposedly he cured AIDS as well. And I wouldn't doubt that that kind of knowledge could be very dangerous to the AMA, big pharmaceuticals, and even some of the big vitamin manufacturers like Nature Made. Not a big fan of Nature Made at all. Okay. If only how would you spend my last day on earth? You know what? In prayer. If I can't pray, then I want to be helping someone. I always say, if I were ever to die, I want to die making sure I'm helping someone else live. You know what I'm saying? Where's my spatula? Oh, no, that's not it. Spatula, there it is. Y'all didn't tell me my spatula was right over there. What's up with that? All right, so on the side, even though the dish isn't really part of what I'm doing, I'm making a flatbread to go along with the meal itself. Most definitely. Whoops, wrong burner. Do you know I burned one of my cutting boards doing that? I turned the front burner on like a moron, and I'm wondering, like, why do I smell wood burning? Turn like, oh my God, big ass burn mark at the bottom of one of my cutting boards. All right. Oh. Hey, everybody put your hands out. We're going to pray for John. Heavenly Father, Yahweh, the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, we just come to you in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, our Lord Jesus Christ, and we ask for a supernatural favor for John. We don't know what this COVID is, whether it's man-made, a hyped-up disease, or the new flu, whatever it is. We just ask and pray in Yeshua's name that you would give supernatural healing upon him right now. You are Yahuwah Yireh, Yahuwah Sabaoth. We know you can heal all things. We ask that John, this young man, would rise up out of that bed and be completely healed and get up and serve people and praise the name of the God that made him. In Jesus, Yeshua's name, amen and amen. Hey, I'm glad. Thank you for asking me to pray. I never get a chance to do that anymore. All right. So we just speak that blessing over him right now. We know he will be healed. You know, the adversary loves to see people not being well, which is one of the reasons why we've been tricked into eating pork and shellfish and all kinds of garbage like that, because we add a lot of salt to it. You know, this Himalayan salt, of course. We add sugar to it or barbecue sauce and make it taste good, but it's not really good food, of course. You're very welcome. Yeah. And to think about it for a second, bevakasha in Hebrew. All right, so I'm making a buckwheat flatbread, one of my favorite things to do. A little salt. Very simple. It's buckwheat flour, salt, and water. That's all it is. Get my whisk here. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Hey, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael Chai. 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 Thank you for the roses. Od Avinu Chai. Shabbat Shalom. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Yerveinu Shalom Alechem. Yerveinu Shalom Alechem. Yerveinu Shalom Alechem. Yerveinu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Alechem. Yerveinu Shalom Alechem. Yerveinu Shalom Alechem. Yerveinu Shalom Alechem. Yerveinu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Alechem. Shalom, Shalom, Yerushalayim. Shalom, Shalom, Yerushalayim. Shalom, Shalom, Yerushalayim. Shalom, Yerushalayim. All right, enough of that. I'm making buckwheat flatbread to go along with quinoa. I believe I got a late start, unfortunately. May Yahweh forgive me. I'm going to go right up against the Sabbath while I'm making the rest of the meal. But I want to make sure that I share the recipe and what I'm doing with people to inspire you to think about going vegan and to keep yourself healthy. I appreciate you. Well, I grew up Catholic, actually. I'm part Italian, so it's kind of natural on dad's side of the family and all. But, I kind of lost interest in, it's a long story. I don't want to bore you or offend you either. I lost interest in the Catholic doxology. There's a lot that I just didn't agree with any longer, so I went searching. And as I find out that Jesus was Jewish, he did Jewish things, he ate Jewish food. And so I kind of went along that way as well. Let's see. Gonna cook really, really fast, unfortunately, but it's all good. Oh, perfect. Never use plastic plates on stove. I should cook really fast. And we're doing that. Get my pan hot as well. Like a little noisy in here. My kitchen is so small, like if I cook something in here, I start getting a smoke immediately. It sets off the fire alarm, which I hate. It's kind of embarrassing in all honesty. Not quite pancakes. Oh, how about that? Almost perfect. This is a buckwheat flatbread, actually. I'll do the rest tomorrow. Oh, there we go. Yeah. You're right. Not bad. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the roses, guys. Really love you. Thank you so much. I may be a man of some age, but I'm a bit of an attention freak, so thank you very much. Let's see. What'd you guys say about it? Oh, really? Okay. You know what? There's a very small line of delineation between Jews and Catholics. Really, if it wasn't for Catholicism, and in some ways it's the opposite way, Jews would not still exist, most definitely. Well, not quite halal. Do I consider myself a black Hebrew Israelite? Not really. I've got clips on. Yes, I do. The clips right there on the other side as well. We have a lot of agreement. Like myself and the black Hebrew Israelites, we don't give much credence to the traditional writings. My rabbi, he's actually white. We do use a lot of the Talmud, but not on purpose. It's more to, let's see, it's more to emphasize that the early Jewish fathers also thought about the Messiah, what he would look like, what he would sound like, and using the Messiah, using the Talmud to prove that Yeshua, Jesus, was Messiah, most definitely. All right, my onions and peppers mixture here. Dan Bilzerian. Dan Bilzerian. Remind me who he is. I've heard that name before. I don't know if I know flat out who Dan Bilzerian is. And forgive my ignorance, unfortunately. I'm old. We don't keep up on things like that, unfortunately. All right. Find my spoon. There it is. That's much better. Okay. The quinoa's already sticky and cooked perfectly, so I'm not going to mess with it any longer. Just going to saute my onions and such. Saute the onions and peppers. Get them nice. All right. Always use cast iron. Do not use... stainless steel is fine as well. And to my knowledge, ceramic is good. I'm not a fan of ceramic, though, because ceramic... if you don't season it properly and you get it dirty one good time, you'll never get it clean. I've tried that forever and ever. Hey, Columbus, Ohio, how you doing? I used to live in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Can you believe that? I've been everywhere, man. It is kind of crazy. Well, the thing is, Abraham had two sons, and the father of the Muslims, my Muslim brothers, is the oldest son, Ishmael. So technically, Ishmael came first before Israel, before his younger brother Jacob, who became Israel when he was challenged by Yahweh to come out of what he's doing. All right. Anybody want to help me with the dishes? Maybe the cat should do it. No. You know, most definitely. I always say when I meet a Muslim, like, you know what? The brothers are going to work it out one day. Shabbat Shalom. How you doing, sweetie? We're going to work it out one day. It's going to come a time when Jew and Muslim, all the children of Abraham are going to be standing in front of the one true master. And it's going to be amazing. We're going to forgive each other and love each other. And the master will be standing in front of us. We'll hold hands and sing songs. And we will worship him all day long. I don't know what the master looks like. And really, we have a vague clue. I mean, the master would probably look something like me with, caramel brown skin and crinkly hair. I need a haircut. Sorry, I know it. But as of right now, we are in conflict because maybe some people take the word of Yahweh, the word of the Almighty, so seriously they're willing to kill over it. No es bueno. Okay, I'm cooking a quinoa dish. So it's going to be, see what I've got here. I've got red onion, I've got pepper, I've got purple onion, red potato, white onion, carrot. What about the seeds? I used, what did I use? Garlic powder. I used a little cumin. I used some basil. I got a little olive oil. I actually had some olive oil already. I don't want to overdo it, of course. Oh, for vegans, quinoa and chickpeas are pretty much staples. Oh, got my edamame. I'll put the edamame in a second. Let's see, who are we talking to? Hey, you're welcome, you're worth it. It was worth the time. The believer in Elohim. My one answer to that is even the demons believe and shudder. It's got to be more than believing. It's got to be walking with and obeying. There's only one Elohim, ultimately. There are other Elohim. Elohim is also plural. It's singular and plural. There are other false Elohim that have tricked mankind since, since day 2 or 3, perhaps, after we became sentient beings. So we've got to make sure we're following the right Elohim and the right word and the right halakha, the right walk with the correct Elohim, the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, in my opinion, in my studies as well. Okay, so we got that taken care of. Got the quinoa done. Now, I don't want to overcook the quinoa, of course. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spoon it into the bowl right here like so. It's a little runny, but I think it's going to work out pretty well. Becomes one of the cats. Oh, okay. Not a problem. I live in South Carolina. That's right. I've got to ask you guys the trivia question. Where do you think I'm from originally? I live in South Carolina right now, but where do you guys think that I'm from? Yeah, put your answer in the comment box. Little Jeopardy music. Do 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 do. Oh, trivia question. I actually auditioned for Jeopardy and I missed by 4 questions. Can you believe that? As smart as I am, and I blew it! I had to say, oh, Giacomo, thank you for coming in, but you didn't get the questions I needed to get answered. Like, no! Antonio, I hate you. Darn it. Real close. But not perfectly right. Okay, Bob Long, 326, you win! I'm from New Jersey. Can you believe that? Yeah, no accent, huh? But I gotta tell you, if you get me around my Jersey Italian friends, ooh, my accent comes right back. It's horrible. I start saying words like mall and dog. Yeah, from New Jersey. Can you believe that? But I took a lot of vocal training, as you can possibly tell from the way that I speak now. And I really didn't have much of a Jersey accent to begin with, but I had enough of it to where it was pretty bad. You could tell where I'm from. Hey, you're sweet. Thank you for saying that. Appreciate you. But now, the other reason I don't have much of a Jersey accent is I lived in Seattle for 7 years when I was very young. Please do watch my reality show. It's called A Week with My Father. It's www.aweekwithmyfather.com. Thank you for the likes. Love you, love you, love you. You get to see my whole family story. Mom and Dad got divorced when I was 5, and I did not see my dad again until I was 39. And I met him in the process of making the show. It's so thick, my goodness. Not good enough. And, well, anyway, I was living in Seattle at the time that I really kind of came into the age of reason, so to speak. And I wanted to know about my dad. I wanted to know what this Italian name that I have is all about. And nobody wanted to answer that question for me. So when I got to be old enough, and I said, you know what? I'm going to seek out my father and say, this is what I want. If you guys don't like it, tough. I'm an old man now. Pardon me. Oh, edamame. Edamame here. Yeah. Now, probably the problem that I have here is, oh, crap. Be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. No, bad kitty. No, get down. Get down. Get down. Had to deal with an unruly cat. Sorry, guys. I'm back. Genna, hey. I had a really good friend of mine. We don't really speak right now. Oh, yeah. So living in Seattle for 7 years as it was, I loved it out there. Mom got homesick, unfortunately, so we had to come home to New Jersey, of all places. But we used to climb mountains. I knew poetry. I can still pretty much sing most of the album of Simon & Garfunkel's big album hit. I forgot what it was actually called over these years. Like Scarborough Fair. And because we used to do meditation as a kid back in the 70s. Can you believe that? So with that, I kind of lost my Jersey accent. Or never really had it though, although I lived most of my life in New Jersey, so it should actually still be there. All right, this came out so sticky, my goodness. I'm gonna make it happen anyway. In fact, all right. Not too shabby, what do you think, huh? Yep. Gonna do a little, do my bread over the side here. All right. Put that over there. What's the one thing you're supposed to do on Shabbat? Bread and wine. Now, pardon me. I used to sell wine for Costco. One thing that I really remembered about wine pairing, when you have a spicy food or heavily garlic food, you want to pair it with a sweeter wine. And I really don't like sweet wines. And most men don't like sweet wine as it is. So I got this here, Hatteras Red, which actually is, dye my beard purple? No, bro, not happening. It's also an issue because a lot of wines are not vegan. So you go around looking for wines that actually don't have any shellfish or pork in the process. And I'm like, why would you have wine in... yeah, I'm not a fan of dessert wines either. Why would you have animals being used in the processing of wine? I guess it's some kind of a fining process that I've never really heard about. I've never tried to make wine before in my life, and it must be something to do with keeping it cheap. This way you can actually keep your wine on the shelf at a good price. But this is a Hatteras Red. It's actually grown in Rose Hill, North Carolina. It is vegan completely. Oh, well, sherbet meowing. Okay. Let's see. Got my meal there. Let me get a bottle of wine. Oops. All right. Get my freshly made persimmons out of the way. It's easy to make. Quinoa, and I keep making the same mistake. You really have to put quinoa in a stainless steel pot. It does not like rice cookers. It's the way things are because rice cookers, rice is a completely different character when it comes to the cooking process. So it doesn't really work out the way that I wanted it to. However, looks pretty good, doesn't it? Well, let's see. Finishing touch. Oh, there it is. This is a vintage, I think it's actually over 100 years old, menorah from the Ukraine. The Ukraine does most definitely figure into the Jewish story, as a lot of Holocaust survivors, came from the Ukraine. This is given to me by a young lady who was from the Ukraine. I think her family had been Jewish. We don't speak any longer, but this is mine now, and I appreciate her giving it to me. It actually is real brass, and the branches turn. I'm gonna have it cleaned like professionally, have it like really, really well cleaned at some point. But it kind of looks nice the way that it is, you know what I'm saying? Without having to make it look new again, but, clean and vintage does what it needs to do. Hey, Toda Rabah, it is beautiful, thank you. Anyway, my sister isn't on here, my Jewish sister who was here earlier. Normally I do the prayer beforehand. I'll sing the prayers for you as well. Smoked? Yeah. Well, bro, I'll take your word for it. I don't do cheese at all. In a way, I miss the flavor of cheese, but I've seen some cheeses that are vegan on the market that are so good, don't miss cheese at all any longer. It's all good. Anyway, I'm going to bless the wine now. Can I sing a prayer? Of course. We'll do that right now. Baruch atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech haolam borei bri agafen. Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai our Elohim, King of the universe, who created the fruit of the vine. L'chaim. And now the bread. Baruch atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzei lechem min haaretz. Amen. May the time of new Yeshua HaMashiach lechem aveshel chaim, and who gives to us Yeshua HaMashiach the true bread of life. Amen and amen. But can't forget this. Darn it, sherbet, what are you doing right there? Sorry, kitty cat. Just offer salt with all your offerings, all the time. All right, well that concludes this week's Shabbat vegan meal. Thank you all for watching. And now, because this is actually work, and I'm working right now, most definitely I got to turn the phone off. So you guys be well. Love you very much. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you all the likes. Coming back here next week at about 6 o'clock. I'll do another vegan meal for you. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Be well. Love you.